Exercise 4. Mechanic Parts was organized on May 1st, 2011, and made its first purchase of merchandise on May 3rd. The purchase was for 1,200 units at a price of $11 per unit. On May 5th, Mechanic Parts sold 720 units for $15 per unit to Radica Company. Terms of the sale were $210 net 60. Prepare entries for Mechanic Parts to record the May 5th sale and each of the following separate transactions, A through C, using a perpetual inventory system. The journal entry on May 5th is a debit to accounts receivable for 720 units multiplied by $15 per unit, $10,800, and credit sales. But remember, under the perpetual inventory system, whenever there's a sale, we also record cost of goods sold. So simultaneously, we debit the expense account, cost of goods sold, for 720 units multiplied by the $11 cost per unit, $7,920, and relieve the inventory database, crediting merchandise inventory, $7,920. On May 7th, Radica returns 252 units because they did not fit the customer's needs. Mechanic Parts restores the units to its inventory. In this case, we have a new contra revenue account, sales returns and allowances. It's used whenever we need to adjust the price to make our customer happy. So in this case, in order to make our customer happy, we needed to accept the 252 units back into inventory and credit the customer for the entire purchase price. The journal entry, debit sales returns and allowances, the contra revenue account, $3,780, and credit accounts receivable. We credit accounts receivable whenever we stop billing our customer. Because the units are in good condition, we restore these units to inventory at their cost of $11 per unit. Debit merchandise inventory, 252 multiplied by 11, 2,772, and reduce the expense account, cost of goods sold, crediting cost of goods sold for 2,772. Letter B. On May 8th, Radica discovers that 60 units are damaged, but are still of some use, and therefore keep the units. Mechanic Parts sends Radica a credit memorandum for $420 to compensate for the damage. So again our customer is unhappy, and we need to do something to keep our customer. So in this case we're going to reduce the amount that we bill them by $420. On May 8th, we debit sales returns and allowances, $420, and credit accounts receivable to stop billing our customers for the $420. But the question is, do we have a second journal entry, debiting merchandise inventory and crediting cost of goods sold? And the answer here is no. Since our customer kept the units, they do not get restored to inventory. Letter C. On May 15th, Radica discovers that 72 units are the wrong color. Radica keeps 43 of these units because Mechanic sends a $92 credit memorandum to compensate. However, Radica returns the remaining 29 units to Mechanic. Mechanic restores the 29 returned units to its inventory. So again, we continue in this process of trying to make our customer happy. In order to make them happy, we need to issue a $92 credit memorandum, and we need to also credit back the entire cost of 29 units. Debit sales returns and allowances for a total of $527. 29 units multiplied by $15 per unit plus the 92 equals $527. And we credit accounts receivable. 29 of the units were restored in good condition. We debit merchandise inventory for the cost of 29 units at $11 per unit, $319, and credit cost of goods sold for $319.